Hey, how you guys doing? This KLA Cloud Wanderer. I got a special guest. Her name is Jodi Scott. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah, I kind of seen you on Instagram, and I know you're like a OCB coach. I mean, a judge.
Yes. Fairly recently,
Yeah.
I got, but yes, I am. I enjoy it. It's a
Oh, oh,
fun side thing to do, and yeah, there's going to be a show in 2 weeks that I will be judging. That's in Augusta, Georgia.
oh.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the last show you judged?
The last show I judged was goodness, it was in August, and it was actually local to me. It was literally 2 minutes drive from the gym that I work at and I coach at and I train at. So that was put on. It was another OCB show that was put on by Magnum and Jackie McCrae. Magnum McCrae is actually the he's a four-time Yorton Cup bodybuilding champion. So it was it's an honor to have judged at their show. So, and that's actually going to be the promoters of the show that I'm actually going to compete at in 4 weeks. I'm 4 weeks out from my first pro level show with the OCB.
Okay.
And yeah, so it'll be theirs that they're doing in Fayetteville, North Carolina, November 9th the show date.
Okay. What's it like? What's it like preparing for a show for the OCD?
Um, it takes time and patience. You know, you're as a natural athlete, you're not taking anything. You can't have any type of steroid, testosterone, any kind of, not even like a human growth hormone, not even DHEA. Some of all the substances that are banned by the Olympic Committee, like those in,
Hmm.
we do not accept anything that any type of performance enhancement. Um, Drugs or even some type of supplement. So obviously we can take creatine, things of that nature. That's okay because that's naturally occurring in the body. Amino acids coming in from, all of our protein sources. So things like that are fine. Any type of herbal, supplement like something that's to help with cortisol, ashwagandha, things like that are fine. It's just the drugs that are, under the table or through hormone clinics, things like that are banned. So it's for us to have no additional help. It takes time and patience. Obviously, I like to say the stage is always going to be there. So if you're going to compete as a natural athlete, take your time. There is no need to rush. So it takes time and a lot of rest, lots of patience, and a good coach that knows how to work with people who are natural.
Have you seen somebody that did like something that they shouldn't supposed to do? Like in terms of taking like
Um,
substances?
so okay, not so much the substance. Now, anybody that walks away with the trophy, they hand you a trophy in one hand and they hand you a cup to pee in the other hand. They will do urine testing
Oh,
right on the spot, walk you to the bathroom, so there's no way that you can cheat or anything like that. When I won my last competition and earned my pro card, that's what they did. And so, and that, but this last competition that I judged, it was in, like I said, it was down very close to me. There was a lady that was from South America. She didn't speak much English, and she had a booty implant.
oh, wow.
So that is, oh no, she competed in the wellness category where it was very, you know, the dominance should be in the quads, glutes, and the hamstrings. And you could see the scars right there. And then it's very common, I think, in South America for women to go
Yeah,
through
yeah,
booty implant. And you can't compete like that. It's because it's not natural. You're being judged on a muscle group and it's got something in it to enhance the shape. So we had to kind of disqualify her. And I don't know if she really understood that, but I'm sure it was explained to her as to why she got. Um, there was only one other competitor in her category, so it was she. I'm sure she had gotten explained to about why she got second place as opposed to the other girl. Which the other girl, she wasn't quite built, yet in her legs. I mean, she needed more time, to build out her legs, but she won just because of her being natural. The other lady was not. So yes, we
Yeah.
do not accept any types of those kinds of implants, muscular implants. Now, chest implants, that's fine. I mean, that has nothing to do with muscle structure, but booty implants, yes, we cannot accept those.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, maybe
Don't,
she should have. Maybe she should have done on MPC or IFBB, something like that.
I don't know how. I'm fairly certain that those rules, I'm not sure of, like, when it comes to NPC, IFBB, because they take all kinds, but I would say they would probably frown upon that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Now, NPC now is having more natural shows. They have a
Yeah.
natural segment. So, and, you can actually earn your IFBB Pro card through the natural segment of the NPC organization now. So that's something to do.
As a judge, like as your first time judging on your last show, how do you differentiate like one physique to another, like whether it's male or female?
Well, a lot of
Like who's the?
times by first is symmetry. Like if the trainer who kind of, we went through the workshops of, learning to become a judge. He said, if their silhouette was up on stage, you, without looking at anything, in details, if you just looked at their shape, you would need to know for sure. You could tell that they are like men's classic physique, men's bodybuilding, women's figure, which is my category, women's wellness, women's bikini, women's physique. So those are the categories of both male and female. So you have to kind of look at the symmetry. Do they have that equal shape that we're looking for? Bikini is not overly developed. Women's wellness is a little more developed in the upper body, but definitely dominant in those glutes and hamstrings and quads especially. Figure has that nice X-frame shape, very even up top and bottom with a nice slim waist, but very muscular. And physique is like a step above that, really, really lean, shredded like crazy. So, those are kind of like the criteria that we go by, but symmetry is key. That is our first thing that we go by. And we are saying, okay, if that person was just there, do they fit that category? Because sometimes, you have a man that is in men's classic physique, but they were a little bit maybe too shredded, so they should have been in bodybuilding. So they might not win their category, even though they might have had, kind of like a great shape, a great muscular structure. They should have been in like men's bodybuilding, for example. So they might not win. Who knows? But and on the flip side, they may have a men's physique, with the board shorts, but they should have been men's classic. They may have had too much thickness. We with a men's physique, we want that. They call it the Dorito bag. They're really broad in the shoulders and then just super slim in the waist, but they might have had too thick of a waist. So they should have been in, men's classic. So we go by that and just kind of not really given too much thought about. We wanted to look at their leanness, their conditioning, but based on what their category is. I'm hoping.
I went to like my first OCB show a couple of months ago in August in Brooklyn. I'm in New York City,
right?
And like I'll show you some pictures of real quick. This is like the figure category.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one thing too, that we do not judge their posing. So we don't take points off from maybe a posing little, if their foot was wrong just a little bit, or if their, arm was hanging or up too high. We don't judge posing per se. However, we cannot judge what we cannot see. So if you're hides anything, so let's say you have an amazing lat, your lats are just so on point, but your posing kind of hides it and you don't show them as well. We can't assume that you have good lats because we've never seen you, we only judge what we can see. So posing is important, but we don't take off points for poor posing. We just can't judge what we can't see, if that makes sense. So judging, so important, very important. You just have to show what you got in the right. Yes.
Oh, that's good. Like, before I get to more other questions, how you got started into bodybuilding?
Well, I've been a personal trainer for almost 10 years now. In the spring it'll be my 10-year anniversary. And I have been on my own fitness journey as well. So I had my daughter, she's 14 now. Oh my gosh. So when she was about 12, I would say, I just decided I need to get my body back. I had grown up being a gymnast. I competed in gymnastics when I was young. I had a black belt in Taekwondo. I did track. I did dance training. I was like ballet, jazz, hip hop, modern dancing. So I've always been involved in some type of fitness or sports or something, some kind of activity off and on throughout my life. And after I had my daughter, I was gaining weight, and I thought, no, this is not happening. So I went on my journey, and I started writing my own programming, and I started losing the weight, and people kept asking me, what are you doing? How can I do this? How can I train this? What do I need to do for this? And I thought, why don't I do this for a living? So I got certified as a trainer. But even then, I was still losing the weight. I was still leaning out, and it took me, I got to a certain point where I think I had stalled a bit, and I thought, what if I cut out my sugar? Because I was also working for Starbucks, because I wasn't quite full-time as a personal trainer. So I was I was drinking chai tea lattes, which, yes, even though they're not as bad as some of the other drinks, they did have a lot of sugar. So I thought, what if I just cut out sugar entirely? So I had to taper myself down. And I would eat, I wasn't tracking any of my food. So I thought, what if I tracked? What if I just started, increasing my protein, cutting back on all the lovely carbs that I used to eat. I used to eat a lot of carbs. And it's not that carbs are bad. It's just that you have to have the right amount of them. So I started shredding. I mean, people kept saying, what are you doing? I started taking essential amino acids to increase my protein synthesis. And not BCAAs, but essential amino acids. And there's a big difference. But I just started leaning out, and people thought, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I was a coach at Orange Theory, and I was just super, super lean. I wasn't probably eating enough that I could have, but I just, at that time, I didn't know anything about it. But people say, you need to get into bodybuilding. You need to go compete. I thought, whatever. Here I was. I grew up a very, very shy girl. I was like, hide me in a corner. I'm happy. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. I was like super shy. And if somebody had said that I would be up on stage in a bikini and high heels, in a spray tan, showing off my muscles, I would have laughed in your face. But I don't know. I think I had gotten to a point where I thought, well, what else is there for me? How can I push my body? What can my body do? And I was probably like I was 45, 46 at the time. I'm 49 now. Yes.
I'm 48.
I'm almost there. I mean, I'm almost, right at that 50-year threshold. So I just thought, well, sure. So that I needed to go to this coach that was local to the area, and so I did. He's very heavily involved in the Georgia NPC, was the expediter. His wife does a lot of admin work. They put on posing workshops. They coach people. They have a gym. So they're very much involved in all of the NPC shows in Georgia. And I didn't know any better. So I was like, okay, hey. So I hired him, and then I learned, and I didn't have a lot of time, before I got onto the stage. I just thought I was kind of already there. And I mean, yeah, to a degree, but not really.
Yeah.
I didn't really place all that well, in my categories. I did, novice and true novice. And then I did my age category, and, I got a couple of medals, but that was it. And it was just, but like I said, it was just a way to get my feet wet, see if I liked it. And I loved it. I was so encouraged by the other women up there, just cheering them on. And I don't know. I just fell in love with it. Of all people, shy little girl growing up, and here I am on stage. And I just thought, well, I would like to do this again, but I wasn't sure about that coach. There was a couple of things that afterwards I didn't, I struggled physically. I had a lot of food allergies that just popped up. I was in a lot of pain. And my hair was falling out, my nails were brittle. So there was certain things that probably was not done in the more scientific modern way. So there was some old approaches that I, after the fact, learning more about this sport, that the coach was very old school in the approach and more cookie cutter and not geared towards me. So I decided, well, let me look into, and I didn't want to take anything. I couldn't afford it for starters, and because I know it's expensive. And I just thought, well, I want this body to be built by me, all me.
Yeah.
I want to help. So
So you train yourself?
Well, not so much that. I just decided I wanted to stick to being natural, as long as I could, just to see, again, where my hormones were at, the weight, where I am at in my age, just to see what my body is capable of as a natural athlete. Because I've never taken anything, never, nothing. Not even having 2 black belts in Taekwondo. Of course, when I was young as a gymnast, never. So I just thought, well, let's just stick to it. I'd like to have, a good metabolism. I've heard of all the side effects of some of the steroids and the anabolics. So I just said, well, I'm competitive. So I looked into natural federations, and I discovered that the OCB was a good one, and they're very, very staunch about their guidelines of being natural. So I decided, okay. So I registered as an OCB competitor, picked a show, hired a coach, and literally 1 year ago, so the end of this month, the show that I'm actually going to be judging in 2 weeks is the same show that I actually earned my pro card at. It was a sweep. I had already had some conditioning, and I just, I killed it. Me and the coach that I hired, and she's an online coach, very scientific in their approach, and just nailed it. And I was the most conditioned up there out of 11 other female athletes in the figure category. I still was able to compete as a novice because it was only my second show. I won that. I won my age category, which was, I think, I signed up for 40 and up, but I think that the only category they had was 35 and up. So I was competing with 35-year-olds and above that, and I won first place on that. And then open category, where it was any age, and it was up against 11 other ladies, and I won it. So, and I actually entered also in the transformation category. It wasn't judged, but I just wanted to show and share my journey as from, that postpartum, that post-pregnancy physique, which I was not happy with at all. And I didn't even like pictures taken of me, and how I transformed into that person who won those categories. And even since then, I've put on some muscle. I'm ready to go for my pro show in 4 weeks, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I could show some pictures. You have a nice physique.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was several weeks ago. That was when I was still doing my check-ins in my gym's bathroom. I've since changed the lighting and the area, so
Did you ever thought about moving up, like to physique or something like that?
You know, people have actually asked me that. I do like figure. I like the symmetry of it. And the training, I think, would have to be getting that shredded. So I don't, honestly, I don't know. It would, I think I would have to just kind of see where my body is this coming year, and if there is any chance. What I have, I struggle, I think, leaning out in my legs. My
Right.
shoulders, back, solid, not a problem there. It's my legs that I have
Right.
a challenging time leaning out. So I think I'm going to stick to figure at least right now. Maybe even go for the Yorton Cup next year. See what happens. That's the big natural bodybuilding championship. Maybe even go to maybe even compete at an NPC natural show. Who knows? So I think it's just like right now it's kind of open. But people have thought that I should try to go up to women's physique. So I don't know. I'm just, or even wellness. Somebody even suggested wellness. And I'm like, I hate training legs. Why would I go to wellness? Just,
Yeah.
I don't know. But who knows? Again, I'm open for just about anything. But I do have a tendency to just kind of be partial to the figure category.
When did you notice that you was gaining muscle?
Because I have, well, my coach and we have an app where I take photos weekly, and so I was just kind of curious. I looked at my photos from last year, probably
Yeah.
around August, September time, and I compared it to like recent photos, and I was like, wow. I mean, for sure in my upper body, my shoulders, and even into my back and lats, that I've built some more muscle. And some into my leg, my quad sweep has gotten a little bit bigger too. So yeah, I'm happy about that. It just again takes
Yeah.
time and
Yeah.
patience, and lots of rest time.
Yeah,
Rest
you
is,
have a nice physique.
huh?
I said you have a nice physique. You kind of like looking at you. You look like a yoga instructor. I don't know if anybody told you that.
I'm not really good at yoga.
No,
I
you
don't
got the
know.
long hair and yeah.
Oh, the
I noticed. Yeah, I mean, no, I noticed that you play the guitar. Not that symbolizes as somebody doing yoga, but I I, I kind of you look kind of like a purist, natural. Are you a vegan or something like that, or do you eat meat?
not even. I kind of get a little I get a little peeved with vegans, because vegans can be very almost religious in there.
Right.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
might, because I've come across vegans who, like, even when clients who say my diet is on point, I'm vegan. I'm like, okay, let me tell you about some vegan meat proteins. They have a lot of
Yeah.
fillers, a lot of excess carbs. They have a lot of processed foods, processed things inside those vegan substitutes. You can't sub out true meat. And it's not like you have to eat red meat. You can eat chicken, fish, eggs, all of that. And those have more of a complete protein and so much better for you. So, I think there's this very small population that can do very well as a vegan, but in all honesty, to me, it's not sustainable. You do need balance. You do need types of meat. And I say the same thing for people who are like keto and carnivore. Keto was actually created to help people with epilepsy.
Yeah.
Carnivore is good for short-term solving of gut issues, because you don't have the carbs that feed a lot of the bacteria that are sitting in the gut from certain things that happen, like SIBO, colitis. A lot of that can be resolved, but short term with those kind of extreme diets. I'm all for balance, but again, some people, they can do very well long-term keto. Some can do long-term carnivore and vegan, but it's not for everybody, most certainly. And it's not for me. I like my white rice. I like my basmati rice. I like popcorn. So, um, to me, balance is key. As long as you do the right amounts, you're good. You're solid. And you need carbohydrates to build muscle. But you also need protein, like true protein, to build muscle too. So complete protein is very essential. That's
Well, we
kind
got
of
a
thing I
huh?
used to for a long time ago. That was like back in my high school days. But I don't know. I don't know if it's the long.
No, I mean you look pretty. You know, I just you look nice.
Thank
You know,
you.
but yeah, how long?
I,
How
my Native
now?
American heritage.
Say that again.
It's my Native American heritage.
Oh, I wouldn't have known. I would have noticed. Happy Indigenous holiday
Yes, it's coming up soon. Yeah, it's like what is it? Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah,
This day.
yeah.
He was lost.
Well, we got a guest. His name is all the way George Page. Just swing by and say hi. How you doing, George? And he has a comment. Like Ronnie Coleman said, everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, but don't want to lift. But nobody don't want to lift that heavy ass weight. Not
Mhm.
everyone wants to be a vegan if you can't eat some meat. Yeah, I mean, not everybody can do that. It's not easy. I remember I tried to be a vegetarian like years ago,
Me too.
and yeah, and I did it because of health issues.
Hmm.
So
And I was a vegetarian. I was kind of allergic to dairy, so I was almost vegan. For about 20, a while back.
yeah,
I thought, I was reading all these things about how bad meat was. It was just, and I thought I was doing the right thing by just switching to being a vegetarian. But vegetables would not satisfy me. So I ended up eating a lot of grains, a lot of beans, and those things actually have what's called phytic acid, and that is actually pretty bad for your gut and your teeth. And so
oh,
I
okay,
ended up with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, um, IBS-C, so the constipated one, and I ended up with I started getting a lot of cavities. I never had a cavity before in my life
Mm,
until being a vegetarian of all things. And then I started
wow,
doing love research because it's so important to be knowledgeable about what you're doing to your body, especially. And so I love to share everything that I've learned. I love sharing it with people. And so it turns out that, yeah, that being a vegetarian for those years caused my IBS and caused my cavities, just doing that
wow,
digging. Wow. Oh my gosh. And so I'm a big proponent of like, don't be a vegetarian. It's going to mess you up, especially if you're shoving fiber down your throat. I mean, that's what the doctors say, right? Fiber, 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 fiber. Too much fiber is bad for you. It creates all this bulk and it just stops you up. You can't go. And it causes a lot of issues like
mm,
colitis, Crohn's disease, SIBO, ulcerative colitis, all of that. IBS. It's too much fiber in your diet. So you got to have balance. You just got to have balance. So
yeah. Like, thank you for sharing that, because I wouldn't have known that. Sometimes I be thinking that I'm not eating enough fiber.
yeah,
I know you got to have some fiber, but
yeah,
though you consuming a lot of fiber.
just do it. Whatever. Like there's fiber in some fruit. There's fiber in some of the veggies, but I honestly, I don't eat veggies.
You don't eat veggies too? Wow. So
I
you
eat,
just eat you just
I,
eat fruits?
I eat some
Okay.
berries.
Okay.
They're good.
Okay.
But again, see, for me, because of my previous history with IBS, my gut issues, I actually have to have a low fiber diet or low-ish. I can't really exceed a certain amount because otherwise it would not be good. And even
Yeah, yeah.
I've, even though I have more of a balanced diet, I still have to have a little bit of extra help. I take magnesium supplements to help me with motility, and I do take certain things like like aloe, like an aloe capsule to help me
Yeah.
go. So some digestive herbs, like bitter herbs, like ginger and artichoke is helping. So things like that, I have to be very aware and very conscious of, so that I can keep my gut health healthy.
Do you drink tea? Like
I
herbal tea?
Yeah, some I do drink an herbal tea every day.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a friend that he's a vegan, and you know he's a struggling artist, and so
hmm
sometimes I see him like he has like his physique is a bit cut up, but the thing is he's real skinny at times, you
Yeah.
know, and I'll be like, wow, yo,
Well,
you look like you don't eat enough.
yeah. It's very challenging for vegans to actually put on a lot of muscle. Again,
Yeah,
there are people who can do it, but it has to be so woo, precise,
yeah,
and the coach who knows what they're doing, how to coach you in what exactly to eat. It's actually very challenging. It's doable, but I think it's just not, again, for everybody.
right.
But
Yeah,
is that they're very religious. You gotta eat vegan. You gotta do this and this and this. And like, no, not really. Sorry.
yeah.
I'll you know, you
I
carry
think
on.
people, I think people took it like to an extreme
Yes.
about like killing the animals and stuff, the cows and the chickens and the whatever and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah. It is extreme in a lot of cases. So some in a lot of ways, I do get kind of standoffish. I don't want to say standoffish because I love everybody. But when people start hounding me about being vegan, I was just like, okay, let me talk to you about that, because I have firsthand experience being
Yeah,
a whole vegan, and what happened with me in that journey of 20 years, almost vegan, vegetarian, messing me up. So
hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry.
no problem.
You got a compliment. You got B Blop. He says Jody looks great, and you know all the way George Page. He says the vegan and vegetarian diet is a challenge for a bodybuilder. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's not that many bodybuilders that you know do vegan and
Right.
stuff.
There are a few.
Sometimes yeah, yeah. Sometimes I mention that and they just kind of roll. Some of them they like roll their eyes a little bit, like in hell no, and you know. So, but I
Yeah.
understand it's not easy.
No, it's not. It's because like vegetable protein, um, for the most part, are individually incomplete proteins. So they have to have a combination. So, for example, you get a pea protein, like a pea protein for like a shake, like your pea
Yeah,
protein. Um, if you notice on those, it is come from peas, but they also a lot of times will put rice protein, brown rice protein. You're gonna have a lot of carbs along with it, so you have to be very conscious about your carb intake balanced with the protein intake. So it's almost like you have to eat a lot of vegetable protein, but then you're also getting a lot of carbs, and a lot of times people end up having their over their calorie limit. So it's definitely they're putting on a lot of fluff. So it's important to me in the off season not to do not to put on a lot of fat. You want to put on muscle, but you want to limit, how much you're eating. You want to be very careful and very conscious of how much you're eating. You can't just go off and eat everything thinking, oh, it's my bulk season. Oh, yeah, it has to be put on, very specifically. You have to be very precise with it and track as well. Otherwise, you are going to put on too much fat, and that makes prep when you're ready to cut and to get ready for a show. It's going to make it very challenging. You're going to have to start off with a lot of cardio. You're going to have a huge drop in your calorie intake. You're going to be hungry a lot. It's not wise to put on too much fat when you're in your off season, when you're bulking. And so it's challenging for the vegan vegetarian to do that because they're having a lot of fillers to complete the protein. They're having a lot of things to make it tasty. It's like,
Yeah.
meat is so bad. Why do they make those protein, substitutes taste like meat? I don't know. Just have the real thing. I don't know. It's not like you have to have hot dogs or pork or anything like that. Just eat clean. White, chicken breast, white turkey, or, the low-fat turkey. You don't have to do red meat. I don't do a whole lot of red meat. I like red meat, but I just don't do a whole lot of it. Eggs, fish. I eat salmon. Oh my gosh, so good in omega-3s. We need balance of we actually need more omega-3s than omega-6. A lot of vegetarian foods have those, like flaxseed, those types of oils, the seed. Too much of those seeds and nuts have omega-6. We are imbalanced. So omega-6 causes a lot of inflammation if it's way out of proportion. So even nuts can have such high calorie content. Not that nuts are bad, just a lot of nuts. If you think of this.
What about raw, like nuts? Like
yeah, I mean, nuts are okay for your good fats, but if you eat a lot of it, these are so high because you think of this. Nuts are predominantly fat, not protein, right? Your fat content, your fat calories per gram, 1 gram of fat is 9 calories versus 1 gram of protein, 1 gram of carb is only 4 calories. So let's say you're eating a lot of nuts and you are adding a lot of calories to your diet. And so we all know calories in versus calories out. If you're in a calorie surplus, you are going to put on weight. Not that it's bad for bulking, but if you do it incorrectly or if you do it over the top, you're going to put on a lot of fat, and that's going to make prep that much more difficult.
Do you have like a favorite food or a particular food that you kind of crave for a bit?
Pancakes. I'm just kidding. No, actually, I love pancakes, but I don't have them every day. I don't have them at all during prep. My diet is very simple. I'm one of those people that actually can eat the same thing every day, and I'm okay with it. I have rice cakes, obviously, the bodybuilders go to, and what is the ultimate all-time favorite for bodybuilders? It's chicken and
rice.
Chicken and rice. There it is. Bingo.
Yeah, chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice. I add a little bit of my turkey with that just to have some of that extra flavor, the type of flavor. I make my own chili paste. I do have a sensitivity to garlic. Yes. Okay. I can't eat garlic.
Okay.
I know. It's so bad. Garlic is so good for you. But I have to make my own chili paste. So I have that for my big meal in the afternoon. And then obviously I do protein. I actually can do whey protein. Even though I have a sensitivity and an allergy to dairy, it is the lactose protein that I have an allergy to, an actual allergy where I get sinus infection.
Right.
A month. So it's not the good only, it's an allergy. It's the true allergy. So it's the lactose protein that I can't do. So I can actually do Greek yogurt, which I do. It's a great source of protein. You can either, like during my bulk time, I can do the one that's got some fat in it. Right now I'm doing the low fat content. I have some raspberries, blackberries, some strawberries sometimes, not so much now because I'm cutting. And I obviously do my rice cakes, for that pre-workout carb source.
Somebody said, don't forget broccoli.
I don't do broccoli, so that's the thing.
Oh.
It hurts.
You rubbish.
It really does. It fit well with me. So, but anybody else, absolutely, broccoli's great. I personally.
Do you have? I'm sorry.
No, I was also saying I like a protein bar.
Yeah. Yes.
At the end of the day, so it's good to have your more fat content meal at the end of the day. So people think, oh well, why do you have such fatty meals at the end of the day? Don't you put on? Nope. As long as your calorie intake is where it needs to be. Wherever you time your meals, it's fine. I have my higher fat content at night so it can actually help with the protein synthesis. I have my salmon with avocado, half an avocado. That's the other fruit that I have. Avocado is actually a fruit.
I didn't know that was a fruit, actual fruit, avocado.
Because of the seed being in it.
Yeah.
I make salsas. Tomatoes are a fruit. Yes,
I
they
didn't.
are.
I don't think realize that was a fruit. I think I heard that somewhere, but I wasn't sure. Tell you the truth.
They have like they have like the idea behind them. Oh, it's a vegetable. No, it's technically a fruit. So,
Yeah.
that I make my own salsa, and I put my salmon avocado salsa together, and I eat that with these very, very low calorie popcorn chips. They are fantastic. That's my other carbs. So I have my chicken and rice, the rice being that source of carbs, and I have these popcorn chips that I use for my salmon meal, and I enjoy it. I look forward to it, and I'm actually getting hungry right now thinking about it. It's almost dinner. It's dinner time for me. So, but I eat the same thing, and it's been pretty good. Nothing.
Okay.
No.
Since it's dinner time for you,
I don't have to recount.
what? Huh?
What's that? I said
No,
I
I
don't
said
have
since it's.
macros every day. I know
Oh,
exactly what touch. So
oh.
yeah.
Like, how's your workout though? Like when you're in the gym, because I see you like on your Instagram. I had like a reel that I put together, like a little movie that you working out.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I do.
I,
Have a coach, and even though I'm a coach, I have a coach because it's good to what I learned before I hired her. So like after I got out of my first show, was struggling with all of my my gut issues, my hormonal issues that I was very imbalanced. I was having food sensitivities. So whenever I was working out, though, I was like, I knew the workouts to do. I knew what to do. I started working out 6 days a week, 2 hours at a time, thinking, okay, this is what I need to do. I ended up overtraining. My rest was
okay.
just crappy. It was like I couldn't rest. I was stressed. I was sore all the time. And so I just said, you know what, screw it. I need somebody to hold me accountable for one, and to give me, and who has more experience in bodybuilding. Even though I was a fitness coach, my expertise was more in like general fitness, losing weight fitness, all of
Right.
that was not bodybuilding. So I said, okay, all right, I'm going to set my pride aside. I need a coach. And then, come to find out, even trainers, coaches have coaches. It's
Right.
not need an extra pair of eyes to look objectively, because we all know we have body dysmorphia. We either look too big or look too small, we look too fat, we look too skinny. We don't perceive ourselves the way other people do. And we need an extra pair of eyes on us to show us what we truly look like, and prescribe, if you will, what workouts we need to do and what our macros or meal plans need to be. I like the macro approach where she says, okay, we'll eat this amount of protein, this amount of fats, this amount of carbs, and I can get those in however I need to, whatever works for me, especially if you have food sensitivities like I do. I don't want a coach telling me you need to eat oatmeal. Oatmeal messes me up as much as I love oatmeal.
Wow, you can't eat like a lot of stuff. It seems like.
Oh, it stinks. Oh my goodness. Hummus. I like hummus. I can't eat hummus.
I don't like that. I don't know. I don't like hummus. I'm not too crazy about that.
Love it.
I'm not. Yeah, you love it, but you can't eat it. You can't eat it though, right?
I don't know. See, I don't want to risk it. Sometimes food sensitivities can actually go away.
Yeah.
And I don't want to risk it right now. I don't want to be like, well, let me try something, and then it just, completely destroys me, and I'm like, in pain for several days. I don't want to
Yeah.
risk that. So there is a food sensitivity test that I took, and that's how I discovered all these things. And I'm thinking, huh, wow, I couldn't eat a lot of those things. And so I am interested to know if I have um, gotten out of the phase of being sensitive, if I,
Right.
something, or if I'm sensitive to something new, or whatever. I need to take another test, and it's just a hair sample. It's not the true allergy test that you get at the doctor that's very invasive, where they poke you with a lot of needles. It's not that extreme, but sensitivities can actually shed a lot of light on gut issues, skin issues, things like that. So sometimes if you are sensitive, you may have an allergy, but sometimes not. But sensitivity tests are actually really good to take.
Do you have like a personal doctor, or no? You don't see the doctor at least, like a doctor that you can be like, what? Oh, okay. No, it's okay. It's okay.
No, I don't. For a long time I didn't have insurance, and I think I
Oh, I
just
got you.
did. I never went to the doctor. I have insurance now. It's just a matter of finding time. I think just to go get it. But I need to go have my blood, my hormone levels tested just to see. But
I shouldn't talk because I don't know. I forgot when I seen a doctor. It's been a while for me too. So, but yeah,
I mean, I feel fine. Just apart from the occasional stomach upset and getting really tired. But I think I do tend to drink a lot of caffeine, especially now, just to kind of hold down my appetite. And I realize, okay, too much caffeine can cause adrenal fatigue. I need to start scaling back. So I'm actually going to be doing that within the next few weeks. I need to cut back on my caffeine. So
do
yeah, or no more quad shots of espresso for me, as much
do,
as I love.
do your do your daughter see you at the shows, like see you on stage? Have she ever seen you on stage?
Homebody. She's like, she just wants to stay home, so she doesn't go with me. But it's
No.
okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I love her to death.
Okay. What about your husband? Does he see you at the shows?
I'm divorced, so no.
Oh, okay. All right. I won't go there.
It's
But
okay. See,
I
Mom.
like peach cobbler, but I don't like peaches. And he
What's that?
says, I saw a couple days ago. It's good to see a doctor at least 2 years if you don't have any real issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to get to one. It's just a matter of that. It's just oh, time. I'm busy. I work at a gym. I'm a gym staff person, so I'm doing
Right.
pretty much everything. I'm doing sales, cleaning, things like that, and plus I'm also a trainer. So and then by the time I'm done, I stay at the gym and I train on the days that I'm training. I do have rest days, yes, I do. And then by the time I get home, I'm just like, I just want to chill. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to relax and then get ready for the next day and do it all over again. So it's
What mo-
I go to the
what
doctor.
Yeah. What motivates you to do what you do?
I like set goals, if that makes sense. I don't like to just be in the gym just working out just because. I think
Yeah.
for me, it was a matter of having a specific goal to aim for. Like in gymnastics, we would train for competitions. We would train for what we called meets. We would meet up against other teams, and we would compete for that gold, or that the medal, to get first place, to get a good score, to advance to the next level. And so I think that kind of instilled that competitive nature in me.
Mhm.
And with like being in karate, taekwondo, you're aiming, you're learning different forms, you're learning different kicks, your punches, all of that, and you're learning to get a belt, the next belt. and then the next belt. You're advancing to that goal of, say it.
It's not coming to my. Nothing's coming to me.
What's the ultimate belt color that you?
Oh, the black belt.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So you have.
But it's Taekwondo. I'm thinking like karate, like
It's
But I
all
never did. I never did Taekwondo. You know, I remember I interviewed somebody that do Taekwondo, and she was like doing the like she's like doing like the competition matches and stuff. But she stopped doing it, you know, and then she got back into it. That's how far yeah.
So
But I think not. Go ahead.
No, I was saying
No.
if you grow up doing competitive sports,
Right.
it's kind of built in you to have some goal, some thing that you want to achieve. So I think that was something that it kind of segued into, bodybuilding for me, because I was in fitness, training, learning I was losing weight. I was putting on muscle. I was learning as I was going, and learning about metabolism and how muscle mass determines how high your metabolism is. And not about the cardio. It's not about HIIT training. It's about, strength training and how important that is even as we age. And so I think with that, I think it was just a natural segue for me to get into some type of competition for that. So bodybuilding was kind of like the natural thing. And like I said, once I stepped up on stage, never would have guessed it in a million years. I loved it. So
Did you do like when you was doing like Taekwondo, like were you doing like competitions where you had an audience and they was watching you? Were you nervous?
I have 2 black belts in Taekwondo. One, the World Taekwondo Federation. Back in the day, I did that. I started that when I was younger, like right when I was going into 12th grade in high school. When I was in high school, I started that. Brother, and he when I graduated, I started traveling, and he went on to get his black belt, but I got mine not that long afterwards. I got mine. This is going to age me. I got my black belt, my first black belt, in 1996. So during that time, I was, earlier when I was advancing in the belt ranks, we would have tournaments, and I like to do the forms because I was already a dancer, and I liked the combination of the movements of like the kicks and the punches and the blocks to put into a routine. And I love doing the katas. In Taekwondo, we just call them forms. But I would compete in those, and I got a couple of first place. But I would also spar and fight up against other girls. I wouldn't fight guys, but I won a couple of those too. So my first go round in Taekwondo, I did do tournaments. I did compete. My second round, when I was older, I just didn't have the time, because I was working full time. And I had my daughter with me as well. She did Taekwondo. She got into it, and then I decided to get back into it. And it was through the American Taekwondo Association. So, but I didn't get into competing or tournaments there. A lot of the ATAs, the American Taekwondo, you have to travel pretty far to get to their tournament, and I didn't have the time or the money to do it, so I didn't do it that go around. But I enjoyed it a long time ago.
I noticed you play like the guitar. Let's see.
Here and there, I get out of the habit. I do it for a bit. I go in spurts. I play the guitar, and then I kind of let it just sit, and then I don't do it because I get tired. I want to relax, and I don't know. It's a discipline as well. I need to be more about it.
Yeah, I used to play a little bit. I was learning, but then I think I was like trying to get the chords, like the D chord, the G chord and stuff, and then I had this like some sheet notes. I would get like on like some rock and roll stuff, and like try to play it and stuff. Like I was learning
Yeah.
from this guy at one point. He was showing me a little bit. Like my problem was the tuning. Like I had to get a tuner also,
Yeah.
electronic tuner, and so I
There's
would
one you
kind of like, huh?
there's one you can get on your phone.
Yeah, yeah. But this was before I had the phone. You know, I
Yeah.
would just, yeah, I just had the tuner,
The
and
one that,
then kind of
yeah.
like listen to it play, like listen, like I would like strum it, and then like hit like play the tuner all together. Then I'll play a song and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I didn't do it long, and then I think I had a keyboard. Well, I still have it, but I don't play it too often. So
I dabbled into I got a little bit with the mandolin a while back as well. Um, and I taught a little bit of ukulele to my daughter. She's got a really nice ukulele, and I can play it, but I have to practice it because the chords are different. But it's fun. I like playing the penny whistles, drums or percussion. Not so much drums, but percussion. So I come from a kind of like a musical family.
right,
So pretty much everybody in my family either sings or has played an instrument at one time. My brother leads church. He's played guitar. We started playing. Well, I played guitar. I started playing guitar first, and then that kind of inspired him, and he's kept up with it more so than me. But my mom played the piano. My dad played the trumpet. They both sang in their choirs. I would sing in the choir. So, and even my dad's family and my mom's family, all singers, at least, to a degree. So it's
did
been,
you
yeah.
did you ever sung in front of everybody?
I mean, I would lead worship at my church. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On the
What's the
microphone.
difference? What's the difference between that and when you was nervous on stage
I
in
don't
front
know.
of everybody? Oh,
I think it was just more of like, it's just different. I mean, you're out there
yeah,
on a bodybuilding stage and for me, I think I don't know if it was partially modesty because I'm up there in a bikini, and
right,
it's more posing and like in a modeling sense. I don't know, but I don't know. It's just different. And then when I was in Orange Theory Coach, we were always on the mic, and it took me a while to kind of find my groove. I think being a little bit more. Being very, very shy, being an extreme introvert, I would say, to kind of coming to as I, grew up, as I got older. I was coaching at Orange Theory, and it got to a point where I was like, just kind of hitting a wall. I wasn't, because they're very high energy, and I've since I'm not a fan of Orange Theory anymore. Changed my tune, but still, for a while, I was a coach there, and I learned a lot. Somebody had said, Jodi, this is your stage. You can be whoever you want to be. You don't have to be you. You can be somebody else. So kind of tap into, because I liked musical theater when I was in high school. I liked being
right.
somebody else. I liked singing. I liked dancing, and I liked drama. I liked being somebody else because I wasn't really comfortable with myself. It's a little sharing my heart here. But I could be somebody else. And when I was an Orange Theory coach, somebody said, this is your stage. You can get to be somebody else. You can just kind of channel that extrovert that you want to be. And that made such a difference in how I presented the classes that I coached. And people started showing up. My classes started getting packed. People started enjoying it. And then it became more natural to me. And so it was actually when I was in Orange Theory that people said, you need to compete as a bodybuilder, because that was when I was leaning out, I was getting shredded, and that was kind of like a little kickstart to that. And then afterwards, I became just a regular trainer, more so in a personal training, as in a strength training. Not that HIIT is wrong; it's just.
Hello. I think she's frozen. Well, I'm gonna play on.
Oh my gosh!
I,
It can only get you so far. That's all I'm saying.
oh, hold on.
Oh my gosh! Oh, is it about muscle? Is that one where I said muscle confusion?
I don't know. Do you see it?
Yeah. I saw it briefly, and I'm trying to.
Do you see it now? Do you see it now?
No.
Let me see.
Oh
my tablet is slow. So, okay.
Okay.
I put that together, so.
No, it's fine. I do
Yeah.
talk a lot about slowing down the eccentric part of the movements, and it really is more challenging for starters. But scientifically, the eccentric phase, which is the downward movement, let's say a bicep curl, you're going up, that's
Right.
constant. This is eccentric. In a squat, going down is eccentric. So slowing those movements down, slowing that part of the movement, is actually where most of the muscle is being built in a sense. In fact, your muscles are being torn. Yes, it sounds violent, but they're being torn, they're being ripped apart, mostly in that eccentric phase. And it's only when they build back together in your rest time, your recovery time, that's when they build back stronger, more dense, and full. But the magic happens more so in the eccentric phase. So if you slow that down even more so, a lot more happens. A lot more good things happen. It's harder. So you can't you can't ego lift. You know.
Is there? Oh, I was going to ask you: is there a client that you train and they wanted to compete?
Yeah. In fact, so he's going to compete in November the 23rd. So 2 weeks after my show, he's going to be in Columbus, Georgia, competing in men's. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. What else I wanted to ask? How long altogether you been competing? Like
So
what year?
Well, I started the journey before, obviously, I started specifically training for bodybuilding in January of 2022. So that first show that I competed at was the NPC show. It was actually, if anybody is familiar with Sydney Gillian, she is the 8th time figure champion. Oh, he's my hero. I love her.
I take it you seen the Olympia.
I saw some of it. I didn't.
Yeah. I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I saw her, and I'm like, she's 8 times. She to me is the embodiment of like elegance, grace, and strength. I just love it. Her presentation is just so on point. I love watching her. She trains in Atlanta at a Madhouse gym, and
Yeah.
I went last Saturday for a photo shoot. She's
Oh, okay.
already in Vegas, so I didn't get a chance to see her. But yeah, she's just she put on her first show that she wanted to promote and organize. So she has her husband who manages that gym, and her parents. They helped put on the Peach Classic. That was her first show that she did the promotion. She promoted, and that was my first competition ever. So that was May of 2022. So I started like basically in January 2022 in getting ready for that show, which was in May of 2022. And so ever since then, I've been in the bodybuilder mode. You know, most people think, oh, how many shows a year do you do? And I'm like, well, I've only just done one a year now. So this will be my third show coming up, pro level as a natural competitor. Again, you have to give yourself time. I mean, muscle building takes time, especially as a natural athlete.
How far do you see yourself doing it?
As long as
Like,
I can.
yeah,
As
I hear
long-
that. Everybody always say that. I always ask that question, and you know, a lot of people say as long as I can.
Because I mean, to me, I mean, yeah, sure. When you get down to a certain body fat percentage, like now, where I'm at right now is not healthy.
Right.
It's not healthy long term. You have to have to build back up. You have to reverse out of this stage. You cannot be stage lean year round. Just not good. Just not doable. It's not healthy for your metabolism. It's not healthy for your hormones, for everything. So your adrenal glands are going to be taxed the whole time. So, so you have to like just kind of be prepared to go back up to a reverse plan. And that makes it more doable. I mean, now he's like, okay, I'm looking forward to eating a little bit more, but it's just the prep mode, like getting like down to this wire, that is tough. And even, you know, getting to right above stage. But the cool thing is, if you have a good coach and you're not doing it old school, which is full depletion the week of, most people think, oh, peak week is so hard. Nope, does not have to be. You don't have to cut water. You don't have to cut sodium. You don't have to cut carbs and be completely, no, you don't have to deplete the week of the show. You actually get to a point where you're lean enough, your muscles are kind of flat. And then the week of, or even 2 weeks of before the show, you start eating again to fill out the muscles. And so you have that full look on stage. So there's a strategy that's so cool, that's so fascinating to me behind all of it. But again, it has to be solid, on point. You can't just wing it. You have to do it right so that you can look your best and not look, see, like my first time, I thought I looked okay. I was lean, but I was flat. My muscles were flat. And every coach that looked at me, they're like, yeah, your muscles were flat. What'd you do? I'm like, I just followed what my coach told me to do. And again, he was that cookie cutter coach. You know, to fill out the muscles. I was sodium depleted. I was water depleted. I was afraid to eat anything up on stage, you know, right before stage, anything. And I didn't have that guidance because you know, it was expediting that show. And he was busy and he didn't have time for really to share with, you know, to do anything with me, to look at me. So
does it take long for you to, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that's right, coach. No.
Does it take long for you to gain weight?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I would assume.
Oh gosh, it was actually hard. It was very hard for me. I was eating a lot of food and my body was just going after, like towards the end, before we started my my cutting process, I was at my limit. Like I can't eat any more food. Please stop. My body was just like going, I felt bloated. I felt just extra full. It was bad. It was almost that is like right now where I'm like hungry. So it's kind of like, it was like the reverse. It was like the opposite. So there are challenges. It's not just all, rainbows and unicorns. When
I'm
you're
gonna
doing.
read these comments and I'm gonna let you go. So,
Okay.
all of age George Page, Sid Gillian is a queen of figure. Now she's retiring. And he also says, what's her IG? I can send her a link from yesterday's post Olympia conference. Yeah, I'll send it to you, George. I'll send it.
I'm Jodi the
Yeah.
Jedi,
Oh, okay.
a Star Wars fan.
Yeah. I could send it to. Well, I could send it to if you want to, but you said it. So, but yeah. Yeah. Thank you for giving me this education.
Yeah.
That was a lot. About the
Learn or
vegan.
yeah.
Yeah. So, you got any shout outs you wanna send or?
Well, shout out to my coach, starter. Her name is Valerie, Team USA Physique, and they have just again very scientific in their approach. I highly recommend them if you are looking for a bodybuilding coach or a team to be a part of. They are just what drew me to them first was I read an article by Chet Nichols, and it was about the sodium issue, sodium and water depletion on stage, and I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder. And I started doing research, and I liked what they all had to say, and that's why I kind of reached out, and they paired me, or they put me with Coach Valerie Okano, and I've had her ever since. So I love her, but I wanted to give out a shout out to my coach. Once I see the link here, I might, tag her in it, or yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
All right. Well, thank you, and good luck on your show. And if you want to talk if you want to talk in the future, yeah, I'm game. Or if you're game,
yeah, sounds good.
All right. So I'll see you around.
All right, see you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
All right, no problem.
All right.
Have a.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.